Is your business pootling along instead of firing on all cylinders? Are you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and frustrated? Do your dreams of financial freedom feel a long way off? Then this is the podcast for you. Little Voice, Big Business with your host, Nadia.
Hello and welcome to Little Voice Big Business with me, Nadia. Today we're going to be talking about the joys and the challenges of working from home. Now, this is a topic which I know quite a lot about, having worked from home for a number of years, and I'm sure it's something that many of you are going to relate to as well. How to work from home, get a lot done, not get distracted, and be comfortable. It's an interesting one because I know that there are so many distractions and that we can struggle to stay focused or indeed to stop focusing on work when our working day is over. So I've been giving this some thought and I've discussed it with my work buddy, Jessie the cat, who spends her days snoozing on the sofa in the other room while I'm working. And she's like my little business partner. And I've actually got to the point where I have become a crazy cat lady who talks to their cat and even has been known, don't tell anyone, to ask her for advice or to see what her opinion is of certain things. So yes, it has got to that point where I've started talking to the cat, and I think that this is one of the side effects of working from home by yourself. It has the potential to send you completely doolally. So I think there's... Can't believe I just admitted to that. I think there's a lot we can do to, first of all, help us focus whilst we're working from home, and also to help us stay healthy in our bodies and in our minds so we don't lose the plot completely. First of all, I think it's really important to have a dedicated space when you're working from home. Obviously, not everyone has the luxury of their own office in the house, but if you can even have a little corner which is just for you, with even a drop-down leaf table and a stool or a chair, an area which is just for you to run your business, then I think that's going to really help give you a sense of separation from, say, the kitchen table, which is where you have your meals with your family, and it's going to provide you with somewhere to keep your stuff. So I know that if you're storing your business paraphernalia all over the house, it's just not conducive to working efficiently if every time you come to sit down and start work, you're wondering who the hell's nicked your pens and where your iPad's gone because someone's gone off with it to watch Breaking Bad or something. So I think you need to set some boundaries and create a little space for yourself, your own little business zone within the house. And oh my god, I'm going to be admitting to all kinds of things in this episode. I hope you're not going to judge me, but I have been known on occasion to work from bed. So sometimes, you know, when it gets a bit chilly and I think, oh, shall I put the heating on? And I'm like, don't really want to put the heating on. It's just me and Jessie. We don't need the heating on in the whole house, and I obviously haven't worked out how to heat just parts of the house, so I think, oh, I'll go and work from bed where it's all snuggly. And I think that's pretty much one of the worst things you can do. for so many reasons.
Uh-oh.
First of all, it's terrible for your posture, and it's, I get bad back, and so it's really not a good idea for me to be slouching in bed with my laptop on my knees. I think if my osteopath could see me, she'd probably have a fit. So working from your bed, bad idea. Also, according to the experts, bed is for sleeping and for other activities not related to running your business. So by working in bed, it kind of blurs the lines, it blurs the boundaries. Plus, if you are someone who likes to have a little snack occasionally whilst working, you will end up with crumbs in your bed, which is definitely not a good look. When I talk about finding a dedicated space with a little desk and people are kind of traipsing past you, it's not going to be the most peaceful place, but it may be your only option. So in that situation, I suggest buying some noise-defending headphones, which you can put on and either listen to some relaxing music or at least block out some of the noise of people passing by. I've actually set up a system whereby when I'm working from home, I often do client calls, and sometimes they overlap with times when Jacob's here. It's not exactly ideal, but on occasion it can't be helped. We have a little system with a notebook where he passes me these notes saying stuff like, can I have 6 bars of chocolate and some Diet Coke? And I'll write back and go, no. And I'll be on a call with a client and he sort of keeps passing me these notes with ever more ridiculous requests. It's quite funny. But, he knows not to interrupt me because we've had the conversation. I think it's really important to let people in your family know what you're up to. And that sounds kind of ridiculous, but you'd be surprised that sometimes people haven't actually expressed it to the people in their family or in their house that they're going to be working on their business for a certain number of hours a week, and they'd really appreciate some support, whether that means perhaps going out. Like now, I've managed to avoid going to some kids' party, which is ending up at McDonald's because I wanted to record this. So we had a little negotiation in our family and managed to secure a bit of peaceful time, because you can't really record podcasts if you're going to get interrupted every 3 seconds. Yeah, having some support from your family. And I also find that maybe some passive-aggressive signs, maybe I'll get them laminated or made into little flags that say things like, do not disturb, on a call, that kind of thing. I think when you work from home, you are left to your own devices, obviously, hopefully, and there's a temptation, because you're so focused on the success of your business, to perhaps neglect certain aspects of your health. So we mentioned working from bed being a bad idea, but I think that having a good chair is a really important thing. And if you care about yourself at all, you will get yourself a decent chair to work from, because you're going to be sat on your butt quite a lot of the day. And if you're sitting in an uncomfortable position or with bad posture, it's going to end up coming back to haunt you, and you'll be saddled with some huge osteopath bills. It's not worth it, so get a good chair. And no, sitting on the sofa with your legs curled under you, with your laptop balanced on your knee, is not a good idea. I've tried it and it doesn't end well, so don't do that. Making the effort to get up and move about every hour or so is the recommendation. I know that we're not all going to do that, and it's I feel like such a hypocrite, but it is a really good idea. So I have a very clever method, which means that I do this on a regular basis, and it kills two birds with one stone. I love a scientific method, something that's been medically approved, so here it is. I drink a lot of water, and then I need to get up and go pee. All the time. So I'm either filling up my drink or I'm going to the toilet, and that way I at least get up on a regular basis, and then I tend to get distracted and do some laundry and a bit of washing up. So as long as I only do a little bit of the housework and I get back to work fairly quickly, then that works well. Housework is another interesting topic, because when you work from home, sometimes we, or even other people in our family, think that we become a kind of PA to the family, and therefore we're able to simultaneously work on our business, but also do all the jobs under the sun, all the housework at the same time. Everyone has different attitudes to housework, and it's really not my favourite thing. I want the house to look nice because I don't really want my office to be based in a pigsty. I'm forever picking things up and tidying up, which can be rather time consuming. But I do have days where I think, do you know what, I'm not doing that because I'm busy, I've got work to do, and I'll do it at the end of the day. I think everyone has their own approach to housework and their own boundaries, and I think it's up to us to select our battles, choose the ones we're going to fight. I'm not going to tell you what to do on that one because it's none of my business, but yeah, don't spend the whole day doing housework.
Does your business feel like an expensive hobby? Are you waiting for the clients to fall from the sky? Are you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and frustrated? It's time to ramp it up. The Actionista Academy is the most action-focused inner circle for female solopreneurs. It's guaranteed to get you moving. With group calls, one-to-one support, a classroom-sized private Facebook group, templates, tools, and weekly accountability, you'll get unstuck in no time. And at just $67 per month, the Actionista Academy is perfectly affordable. Yes! 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 For details of how to sign up, visit nadiafiner.com.
What's that, Jessie? Oh, hang on a minute, Jessie's just telling me something. Oh yeah. Jessie, the cat, says, get dressed. Okay, Jessie, thanks for that. Jessie's very influential, as you can see, and she has strong opinions. As she suggests, getting dressed is a good idea. So wearing pyjamas or loungewear masquerading as clothes is not a great idea. I think that when you get up and you start work, you need to feel like you're going to work, and if all you do is roll down the stairs in your pyjamas, barely washing or brushing your teeth, it's kind of manky, to be honest, and I think that it could probably make you depressed at the end of the day. So I think it's a good idea to get ready as if you're going to work, even if work is just downstairs. Oh yeah, she also wants me to tell you to get healthy snacks in. Yes, Jessie likes her food, and so do I. I think I'm not quite at that point where I'm going to start drinking green smoothies like some of you like. I really can't. I'm not that healthy. But I do try and keep some healthy snacks in the house because, especially when work maybe isn't going that well on a particular day, if you've got a house stocked with, well, for me it would be chocolate. If the house was stocked with chocolate and all I had to do was take sort of 4 or 5 steps to the snack cupboard and be able to consume thousands of calories, I think I'd end up being the size of a house. And, it wouldn't be great. So I try and have healthy snacks in. So I'm trying to move my butt every hour, eating healthy snacks. I get dressed, thanks Jessie. and I try and do bits and bobs of housework, but not too much. And I think it's also a good idea to try and get out the house on a regular basis. There are plenty of places where you can go to co-working spaces. There's something called a jelly, which is a kind of get together of people who want to co-work, say for a morning or an afternoon. It's usually a kind of networking thingy, and you sit there and drink coffee in the same room as people, maybe in a pub or a cafe. It's a great way to meet people in your local area. I try to go to networking events too, and also conferences for a change of scene. It's really energising as well to meet people from all over the world. In May, I went to Dallas, and as you know, I live in London, so I flew all the way to Dallas for a conference, and it was amazing. I made some, friends for life, loads of business contacts, and I really enjoyed it. And I think from now on, I'm going to make an effort to go to at least one big conference a year, just to broaden my horizons, network with some awesome people, and really kind of stay energised. Because I think if you're literally sat in the same room all the time, just you and your laptop, you could end up going a little bit bonkers, which isn't ideal. You should only check Facebook and emails at certain points during the day, and I think when you maybe don't have set deadlines because you're setting your own deadlines, it's easy to get distracted. And we both like looking at kittens, don't we, Jess? And I think if we did that all day, we wouldn't get any work done. So maybe putting Facebook on, obviously checking out my group, Little Voice, Big Business, is a good idea. And then closing that window down and getting on with your work, for sure. And then you can always check it again later. But constantly being disturbed by pings and, new emails and new messages and, what's this and what's that, you won't get your work done. And I think the idea is not to be working 24/7. So turn off Facebook. And on the topic of boundaries, when you're already at home, the lines become blurred between work and your family and your personal lives. If you left the office, if you were going to an office and you came home, it would feel like a cleaner cut. Maybe you'd be in the car or on the train for a while, and then you'd arrive home. Your key would be in the door, and you'd know that it was time, home at last, time to relax. But when you don't really have that journey, that distance between the office and home, you end up kind of blurring the lines and work just continues. I'm a bit of a hypocrite again, but I am trying to stop checking my emails and my Facebook in the evening when I'm having my dinner or watching TV with my husband, aside from the fact that it's probably highly irritating for him. I think that it's a good idea to try and switch off. And I know that when I'm thinking about work constantly, and that it sort of pervades my thoughts well into the evening, and then I go to bed, it's really difficult to sleep. So having that downtime, that time to relax and unwind and not think about work, is really important if you want to get a good night's sleep, really, and also stay married to your husband. It's probably a good idea. I hope you have found some of those tips useful, and that you are also able to work from home in a healthy, happy fashion. I mean, I love working from home. I love the fact that I get to do the school run most days. I know it's a bit of a drag, but actually being able to take Jacob to school and pick him up is quite important to me, and therefore getting the most out of the time I have by being able to work from home is pretty brilliant. And I'm sure you feel the same, but I'm not great at working for other people. I like to be the boss. So this is kind of the ultimate for me. The ultimate perk of being the boss is that you get to work wherever you want. And Yes, working from home, it can sound a bit mundane. There are slippers involved, and yeah, there's laundry and washing up and all that jazz. But it also means that you've got the freedom ultimately to travel. If you can work from home, you can probably work from anywhere. So I'm sure that many of us have aspirations to travel and perhaps be running our businesses from that beach in Bali or from a hut in the countryside in the middle of nowhere. Well, I suppose there'd need to be Wi-Fi, but you know what I mean. So I see this as kind of the first step to that sort of true freedom lifestyle. The idea that you can be your own boss and run the business from anywhere. Remember that next time you're wrestling with the dishwasher and wondering whether you really ought to go and get an office somewhere. I wouldn't have it any other way, actually. You know, I get to spend lots of time with my family and I get to hang out with Jessie the cat, so it's perfect. So thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to chatting with you lots more in our Facebook group, Little Voice Big Business, from me and Jessie the cat. Goodbye and speak to you soon. Bye bye.
Little Voice, Big Business.